Guys, come in here.
We'd like to maintain the current level of black representation on the committee, so let's go for a stroll.
And probably will be fine.
La 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 la. That's enough. La 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 la.
You don't know the power of the dark side.
And here is what is going to be next on deck. Going to build the Darth Vader TIE Fighter, sticking with the Star Wars theme after the big Star Destroyer, but I need a break. So I'm going to do something a little more simple. This is just mainly going to be a build up. I am going to put a little bit of lights in it. I'm going to light up the blaster cannons there. Do a little bit of work inside the cockpit, and I'm going to light up the ion engines, and it'll just give you a look at the box. It shows it in that flight display. Yeah, I'm not going to use that. You got this big old honking piece of plexiglass that they want you to force your ship back into, which it is a pretty decent little setup if it doesn't scratch your model all up. And here is the big piece of plexiglass, acrylic, which works good for other projects. You can cut, lay down a pattern and cut stuff out on a bandsaw, and this works great. I've got several others of these. So I'll put that off to the side. Here are the side panels. This is one of the inserts for a side panel and some landing gear. It looks like landing gear will not be used. These are some of the hull inserts, if you will. Sorry about the squeaky chair, but mine's not as bad as some of you guys. Take that back. I don't know what that was. Here's the landing gear. Landing gear will not be used. That will go into the scratch building box. There's some pretty nice panels here. There's another insert. These would work good for scratch building projects. I may have to look into that. This is cockpit parts. And like I say, I will do some minimal lighting on the inside. I'm not going to go nuts with it. And then here is the one's the top, one's the bottom. I'm not sure. And yes, it does have flash, but it will come off extremely easy. No big deal. And just to give you an idea of the size that it's going to be, nice size model. There is going to be, I have built this a couple times. There is going to be some seam work that needs to be done all along the front, actually all around the deal. So, but it's no big deal. It's all part of model building, right? And here is the front glass, or the front frame for the glass, and there's a top hatch. Here's another hull insert. This is the what is that? Oh. This is the base for the big honking piece of plexiglass to go in there. See, it won't even go in right. Okay, I was going to show you how it sets up there, but I forgot it needs a little work to get it to go in. Got a few extra pieces laying around here. You got this big fancy Star Wars display plaque, and there's another hull insert, and then you got the man himself. He's not glued together, he's just stuck together there. It's press fit together. Get a little work done on him. Who knows, I may run some fiber optic for his chest computer. And here is clear parts. This is the front windshield. This is the glass for the top hatch, and then you have a normal stand. But with this stand here, it makes it sit really, really low. And I mean, it's good for what it is, and it can be used for something else, but it won't be used in this project. And then just some garbage in the box. That's, you know, it just mail-in coupons. Join the Star Wars fan club. Yeah, that was what, back in see if I can find a date on here. There's no date on there. Let's see what this might say. I want to say this was back in like 97. I found it, but I need my big eyeballs to read it. I missed it by a year. It's 1996. And I don't use this part of the magnifier. I use the 40 times. This is like 3 times the magnification. This is 40 times. I wish I could get a magnifier with this magnification this big. That would work perfectly for me, but I have searched and can't find them anywhere. Here is just a kind of a paint. Yeah, here's your paint call out. Yeah, you got all these listed paints. They don't go in this. It's like a generic paint. These are the colors that you might possibly use. And then just standard instructions that are child-proof and I can't open. Nothing major. And so that is it. Got quite a bit of work done to Vader's TIE Fighter. Got the base is probably 90% complete. All I've got to do is wire it. I'm going to put a 9-volt battery pack in here. Already got the switch mounted in. I've got a little vinyl sticker here that I made, and it is kind of a short, stubby base, and with the ship hanging off the back of it, I knew that it would be kind of back heavy. And what I did was put a big chunk of air dry clay in the front part of it. Like I say, it's going to be hanging off the back, and when I decide where it's going to, which direction it's going to be in, I may glue it into position. Right now I can take it on and off, but once it gets wired together, I don't want it coming back off. So got like I say, and I did, let me move these parts a little bit here. What I did here was I made a little sleeve, not made a little sleeve, I had a little sleeve, and I cut a hole, I drilled a hole in the bottom of it, and this sleeve just is perfect size for this. I think this is a 7/32. No, it's not 7/32, it's 3/16. 3/16 rod there, brass rod, and I don't know what size this would be, but like I say, it slips over just fine. I wanted to see where the bottom of the cockpit was going to sit, how low it was going to sit. And so I put the little tube in accordingly. That gives me plenty of room for my wires to come out and not interfere with the bottom. The only things that's going to be lit, I'm going to light it out of the cockpit, in which I have, you can see some of the holes. There we go. You can see some of the holes in it that I've drilled. Maybe a little better. Not so much. Anyway, I've got some holes drilled in it, and both sides. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna build a box on the back side of here and put a LED inside there, and then just after I get it painted up like I want, all the panels there painted up like I want, I'm going to dip in different colors of the Tamiya paints, clear red, clear green, and so on, and color those in, and then it will be lit from behind with the LED. And I've got both of them. I didn't drill the holes out the same way. There you can see that a lot better. I didn't drill the holes in the same pattern, so because I didn't want it looking identical to the other side. There are some similarities, but got the solar panels painted up, or cleaned up and primed, and I forgot to put this piece on. I should have put that piece on before I primed everything. Oh, excuse me. But I didn't. I just now got it on there, and I'm gonna reprime it. But what I'm doing is going through and I'm masking off what I want to stay black, and then I'll hit this again, just this section here, and then after it sets up, then I'll give it a really light, it's going to be almost a white paint. I'm gonna make have white paint, just put a couple of drops of black in it, just enough to get it to more or less an off-white, and then when I spread on this black, it will come out with a really, really light gray, is my plan. The windshield frame here is going to be either a dark gray or a gunmetal. Not sure on that. Probably a dark gray. And I've got what I was talking about, the only thing that's going to be lit up is the cockpit, and I'm going to light up the blaster cannons, and I'm going to light up the ion drive. And you have 4 exhaust ports for the ion drive. One, there's the other one. You can see I've drilled pilot holes in each one, and then on the top section here, same thing. And what I'm going to do is go back through, and that's only a pilot hole. I'm going to drill on through, because I haven't drilled through anything on the inside. And I'm either going to put fiber optics in it, or I'm going to cut it out and put a little LED in each one. Probably going to use 1mm fiber optic. I've got the inserts glued into the top, and when those go together, the scene don't want to cooperate. When they go together, yeah, I've got a big seam there that I've got to deal with all across the front, but it'll work out. The top is kind of spread out a little more. Once you glue one side into place, you can see there's going to be an overhang, which I'm not getting the overhang at the moment, but there's an overhang on part of it, and all you got to do, you can see the overhang there. All you got to do is just kind of give it a squeeze and clamp it down, and it pushes everything into a line. And every one of these I've done, I think this is honestly, I can't remember. This is either the 3rd or 4th one of these I've done that they have the same issue. So it's not that big a deal. We got the back panels in. Inside here just gets a little detail that goes in that gap and just closes off the gap. Those stay open. So it's coming along. What I should have done when I painted, and I've got most of the parts primed. Once I get the I'm going to black out the inside of it, and then get the cockpit done and put it in there. You know, I gotta do my wiring and get the cockpit in. Then when I close it up, I'm going to stuff tissue paper in the two main holes there, and that way I can do all the seam work and then paint it and everything. I taped off the back so I would have a good gluing surface, just like I taped this off here, because that goes in there. But where this part glues on the side, yeah, I forgot to mask this off, so it is what it is. It'll still glue. I'll go in there and I'll scrape as much as I can off there. I may take some paint thinner and clean it out good or whatever, but I don't want to use super glue on these, because when you super glue them, it sets up too quick and your wings can be kind of cattywampus. If you use standard glue like the Tamiya glues or whatever, you can put them on there, and then it gives you time to sit it down, get them level, and get them squared up and everything. So I got Darth Vader's all shinied up. I painted him with satin, and he's not going to get much more. I'm going to go in and do a little gunmetal on the shoulder armor, and then paint up his chest computer. I decided I wasn't going to put, I was going to try to put 3 fiber optics, red fiber optics in there, and I probably could have done it had I not glued it together, you know, but I decided I went ahead and glued it together because I just decided not to do it. You know, you got to know when to say enough is enough. But that's what it's looking like at the moment. Going to just kind of continue on. We'll get all the parts on there that need to be on there. These are parts for, let's see, yeah, all these, you got 6 parts here. Actually, yeah, 6 parts. They go in those little holes there. I'll get those in. These are little caps that go on back. They've got 2 here and 2 underneath, I think it is. And once I get all the parts on that, then I can start closing that up. I guess the next thing on the agenda is get all the cockpit. This is the final on the Darth Vader TIE Fighter. Turned out pretty good. There were just a couple of issues with it. I've got some pictures that I will show. I took some pictures of the inside the cockpit area, because it's very difficult to get the camera down in there to see inside. So I took some pictures before I put the front glass on, and I'll zoom in just a little bit. One of the issues, and like I said, I've built this a number of times. The first time I built it, I had this issue, and I just thought it was that kit. And the other times I built the kit, I had no issues with this part. But then I had the same issue as I did with the first kit, and you really can't tell. But and there was no way to straighten them up. But the wings are just tipped just a little bit. This end is lower. And the way these things lock in, which I need to touch up that paint right there, but the way these things lock in, it's virtually impossible to shift it. You have to shift it when you're gluing the top and the bottom half together. You need to put that on there and get it, give it a little twist, and then clamp it and let it glue up in place that way. But like I say, it's not much of a deal. There is just a little bit of a dip. And you can see the wash that I put on it, and here is a couple of pictures of me applying the wash. You can see how I did it. And so that's how I applied the wash. After I got everything painted, I gloss coated the whole deal. Okay, with the exception of the glass, I didn't have any of the glass in it. Then I just put the wash on it and then just wiped off. You know, it's like almost like a sludge wash. I love to do sludge washes, and just wiped it off. It left everything in the panel lines and everything like I wanted. I took a Q-tip and got in around some of the more intricate detail. And I'm trying to find, there it is. You can see the panel lines here. They look really good. Some on the front there, and I'll show you in a second, weren't really deep enough, and I didn't feel like rescribing them. But you can see all inside here, the wash made all the detail stick out or jump out at you. It's really brings the detail out when you put a wash on it. Here's the panel lines that I was talking about. Some of these right on the front, especially on the underneath here. This one was pretty good, but the ones underneath on this side weren't very deep. And I'll go ahead and switch the lights on, and I'll kill the overhead lights here a little bit. And you can see the front blaster lights. Let me turn down the exposure a little bit. There we go. And got those, and then in the back got the ion drive on the top and on the bottom. There's a total of 7 LEDs in here, and I'm gonna back up just a little. I've got a total of 7 LEDs in this. There's 1 LED per ion drive, so there's 4 in the back. And then I've got 1 driving the green fiber optics here. It goes down and underneath the cockpit floor. So that's 5, and then I've got 1 on each side, so to light up the instrument on each side of the cockpit on the inside. And the green, I didn't bother blocking off the green LED. It's in the back behind Vader's seat, the back section of the cockpit. I didn't bother blocking off any of that light, and it gives it a really nice green glow all inside the cockpit here. And I'll go ahead and show you. Here's some pictures of the cockpit that I took. And as you can see, you know, it's not the greatest detail, but it does add a little interest inside the cockpit. So got another build down, so I'm going to take this inside and add it to the collection. I thought about doing another Star Wars ship coming up, but I'm not 100% sure. I've got a couple of models that are just they're in boxes, but they don't have an official box, and I'd kind of like to get those washed up and done up so I don't lose the parts and stuff out of them. I don't know what I'll do just yet. Like I say, I'm wanting to do another Star Wars ship, so that could quite possibly be. But the one of them that I don't have in the box requires 0 lighting, so I may just go that route. I will cross that bridge when I get to it, and I will post up a video pertaining to that kit here in the next few days. So I hope you like it. Darth Vader's TIE Fighter is finished, and I will catch you in the next build.